Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, checking in on SPY, the Dow, IWM, and VIX. So we got the pullback that we were looking for in terms of continued consolidation after the bearish reversal, shooting star rejecting from the daily middle Bollinger Band resistance. Unfortunately for myself and a few others who had shorter term puts perhaps expiring this week, forced to take profit early in terms of the bulls showing up first thing in the morning. So ideally, I would have liked to be able to hold through this and see that follow through. But again, the bulls had control of the first half of the day, and then the bears took over the second half. This is healthy consolidation. Look at the volume. It's exactly what the bulls want to see at this point. There is still the potential of a bull flag, with this being the flagpole and this being very brief, healthy consolidation. Again, we have to take it a day at a time, because if we see increased bear volume or any kind of significant pullback, then we know that that daily bull flag is not likely and will likely pull back towards the mid 260s to try and form this higher low, more of an equilibrium pattern. So the way that I see it right now is either a bull flag if the hourly time frame is nice and contained, lower highs and lower lows on low volume, or if that volume starts to pick up, then an equilibrium pattern. So weekly time frame, inside bar last week, inside bar forming this week, shortened week with 3 trading days to go. We could absolutely form another inside bar this week. Looking at the Dow, pull back. That's a more convincing bearish move, and it's confirming the bearish reversal shooting star candlestick and followed through right at the open. Didn't really see much bounce at all and closed fairly close to the low of the day. Volume is consistent with the bull volume on the way up, so this is looking less like a bull flag and more like an equilibrium will set up. I'm looking at support of 24,809, the low of Thursday, and then we're going to be looking down towards this 100-day moving average. Again, watching the volume tomorrow, seeing how much follow through we get. Once the hourly higher low and higher high pattern is reformed, we will look for the daily chart to form bullish reversal candlesticks on these names. Inside bar last week, inside bar forming this week on the Dow. Very similar setup to SPY in that regard. IWM on the daily time frame, same scenario as SPY. It had the bullish follow through, a big upper wick, but then lost it towards the end of the day and the bears started to come in. So again, the upper wick rejecting from the middle Bollinger Band and the 50-day moving average 2 days in a row. So once the bulls get over those levels, we will know that they have follow through. 100-day moving average support will be in the 151.30 range tomorrow, and then looking down at 150.56 as the next level. IWM on the weekly is also an inside bar this week. It wasn't last week, so it's a bit of a different setup. It had a more bounce or more bullish bounce, being able to break the high of 2 weeks ago, which neither of the other markets were able to do. VIX on the daily time frame, this is very weak. This is a potential bear flag. And you know, people on Stocktwits or whatever talking about VIX over $20 sounds like bag holders in my opinion, but I'm just watching this pattern comparative to, again, the healthy pullback in SPY right now. This is a bear flag, and as long as SPY is a potential bull flag, it's looking like this is going to stay a potential bear flag. The bulls need to get over these exponential resistances tomorrow and see a close ideally over 22 if they're going to see some proof that this is not a bear flag and that the bulls do have some bounce momentum. Otherwise, we have to be skeptical, and once the higher low, higher high pattern on the hourly of this bounce attempt is lost, that means the bears are taking back over, and we're going to be looking down at our recent low of 1744. So again, the magnitude of the bounce that we saw on SPY 6 days here and on the Dow and all these other markets, it's significant enough that we can be looking for our bottom to be in for the time being. And again, it would have to see an equilibrium pattern play out over a couple weeks and then a bear break. And of course, if there's any kind of crazy news, that could change things. But other than that, that's what I see happening, which means VIX has a lot of work to do for the bulls to make their way back towards the levels where we were at on the market dump. The weekly time frame, inside bar last week, inside bar this week is likely, and we'll be watching that next week for a clear break. I appreciate you watching. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Keep an eye on that volume. Have a great night.